Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Cupcheck, for the new GetEquipped.com. 2 years ago, for Gamer's Garage, I happened to have the privilege of doing an interview with Keith Apicarnage. Those 2 years have haunted me because Keith called me Muffin Top. Now I have the man that created the alter ego, Nathan Barnett. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Fill us in about what's going on for the past 2 years, ever since shortly after SGC 2009.
Um, geez. There's been a bunch of junk going on, I guess. We worked with or regarding Keith, you're talking about, right?
Or you overall.
Just me. Well, I've eaten a lot of muffins lately.
Shit.
Sorry, man. I don't blame me. Keith's the one that called you Muffin Top. It's because your name was cup. It's similar to a cupcake, so
Yeah.
you can understand the connection there, right?
Damn you, Keith!
Yeah. Well, let's go get him. That guy's an idiot. Keith's been busy. Keith's on game trailers now, and he has like little recurring spots on Spike, and doing his dumb nonsense. Keith's been to Russia. Keith went to France. Um, Keith was working with Comedy Central for about a year, writing a script. So I was saying Keith. I keep forgetting. I was doing that for Keith, I should say, and then that didn't go to pilot. So now we're nothing. I can't like nothing's official. But like we're working. Been into meetings and stuff, and we're talking with another network for adults. Adults like to go swimming, so swimming adults. That's what we're working on a show for adults who like to swim.
You have many different characters, and the one that sticks out in my mind the most outside of Keith is Trail Lawaus.
Oh yeah, good old
Uh,
trail.
there has been a YouTube video on your page about you winning a Skittles machine.
Yeah, winning a Skittles machine, not owed or was due. I won it, but apparently Skittles is very aware of me, and I get like free Skittles for life. I just got a new box of Skittles yesterday. Actually, I got a box of 36 bags of Skittles. Um, I ended up doing this thing where it was I was like, I want a Skittles vending machine. Some kid sent it to me. They go, Trail needs one of these, and they were giving them to like celebrities. And Kim Kardashian has one. Whoever that is, I've heard about her, but I just don't know who she is. But I think she's a model. Is she a model?
Some would say she's a porn actress.
Oh, gross. Okay, well, never mind. Well, anyway, it's her and one of the Jonas Brothers and a bunch of other like random celebrities. Some basketball player they were being given these Skittles machines because they like said publicly how they like Skittles, so Skittles like sent them these machines. And I was like, no way, I gotta get one of those things. So uh, right after that, they introduced like the Skittles contest, saying like if you make a video and you win, you get the most votes or whatever, you'll get the Skittles vending machine. So I was like, Trail's definitely entering this. So Trail entered two entries, and they have to like approve them, and both of them got in. And both of my videos, like because Trail has a lot of people that watch him, so he like won the whole thing. And then I talked to Skittles and the brand and the agency, and they were telling me how they were very happy I entered because they like Trail, so they were glad that it went to me. So I feel like I could have maybe just gotten one if I talked to them since they know about me, but whatever. It was kind of cool to enter and win it. But then at the same time, there were a lot of other people that entered the contest and said it was rigged because they thought Trail was like part of Skittles, but he's not. Well, now he is kind of because they sent me Skittles and stuff. And I just talking to the woman the other day. I'm gonna be doing some stuff for. I did one video for Skittles. They like endorsed this one where it's Trail's head blows up and like Skittles come out. That one was for them, and they were like kind of working on that with us and like making sure we were doing specific things and stuff. So now it's like I'm kind of working with Skittles, which is pretty cool because I just started doing those videos randomly. And I just talked to the girl the other day, and they have like they're figuring out their projects for 2012, and they want Trail to be involved. So hopefully next year, the Trail will be like a bigger part of Skittles and like being actually in the ad campaign.
Well, how was Trail actually created?
Uh,
What
I
is
just
the
I was bored one day. I didn't have any videos to film, and I wanted to do like some 30. I wanted to do some quick videos, like some quick little easy things I could just like post and watch back, and something that was like simple, but didn't take like a lot of cuts and like other actors and stuff. So I went down to this wall. I was like, oh, I'll do some like candy commercials. I had done some I did this thing. My friend Paul Cummings and Tony. When he was directing with our other friend Tony. They were directing this Butterfinger commercial, and they used me in it, and I was my character Simmons in it, and Butterfinger like really liked me. They thought I was really funny, so I ended up I had this connection with them. I was like, okay, I'll make some commercials. I'll send them to that guy at Butterfingers and see what he thinks. Maybe they'll want to use them online or something. So I went down to this wall down the street from me. And I just I made up this name. It was Trail Lewis. Went down there to do Trail Lewis advertises for candy, and did these Butterfinger ones. And so I wrote 2 or 3 of them, and then I figured I'd just like make up a bunch of other stuff when I was down there, kind of like improv some nonsense. And that's what happened with that. I wrote some, and then I made some stuff up, and then I thought they were pretty funny. So I did like 2 more or another one of the Butterfinger ones. And then I was like, oh, I should do other candies. And I did the Skittles one. And the Skittles one went kind of like crazy. I don't know if it's because of Skittles has like similar advertising and like their audience like, relates to that or likes like the bizarre, weird stuff. But that one went crazy. That one's at almost 1 million views, which isn't like that much, I guess, because it's like, there's videos out there with like 100 million views. But that's pretty good, I guess, for this one of the stupidest videos in existence. It's pretty good that it has that many views. So Trail kind of went crazy, and Skittles is kind of like his main candy now. I've also done Twizzlers and other things. So yeah, Skittles is kind of like fun because they kind of embrace me now. So I like doing I would drop all the other candies for Skittles because Skittles are vegan too, so I can eat those. But they are still filled with a bunch of junk and battery acid and stuff. So I probably shouldn't be saying this. Wait a second.
I'll edit it out.
I'm never gonna. Okay, yeah, well, whatever. I don't care. Screw them. I mean, no, please give me more Skittles.
Well, the question that all your Keith fans have is that after the incident that Keith had with Peter Jackson at last year's Comic-Con, was he actually able to appear this past year if you happen to have went?
I didn't go this year, but because I took this Comic-Con off because like it gets so tiring, like trying to I mean I'll do it. I'll do any convention. I'll go. I have the energy to do it. It's just that like mentally and like for the audience, like I have so many conventions to do this year. Like this week I'm going to Con Bravo in Toronto, and I'm going on tour in September for like 20 days as Keith all across the country. So I was like, okay, I won't go to Comic-Con this year, but I did do another thing last year that was never seen that came out this year, where Keith like tries to sneak in. It was for a pilot for Comedy Central called The Tournament of the Nerds. My friend Justin Donaldson was directing and like created with my other friend Hal. So I went down there to do this bit where Keith tries to get in and he can't get in, and then I wanted to do like some cool crazy stunt, and he was kind of like hesitant because he didn't want to get in trouble. He didn't want me getting hurt. I had brought like lighter fluid, rope, and like these rags and stuff, and I was gonna light my arms on fire and like run into the building and be like, "Oh my God, I'm on fire! Let me in!" And then like tell him I have to like go to the nurse so she can put me out. But he's like, "We can't do that." I was like, "Oh come on, let's do it." And I had all this stuff. I was ready to do it. But then my other idea, he said no to that, and I was like, okay, well, what if I climb the building and I try to like find a door on the roof? And he was okay with me doing that as long as like that was the only thing I did, and I just came right back down. So I ended up like climbing. I think that's on Funny or Die right now. I ended up climbing up the roof of the building, which is like this big slanted long window. And when I was climbing up, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty high. And I started getting a little nervous. I was like, what if this glass gives in on me and like fall through the glass? So I tried to like climb up on this support. This is a long story. I'm going to try to make it quick. But anyways, I climbed the building and I slid back down, and then Comic-Con people chased me all over the place, and I ran back in. I changed my clothes and I hid, and they didn't see me. And then I met with my friend Roger Barr at his booth, and I was like, hey, they're looking for me, so if anyone asks, you didn't hear anything about me or whatever. And then right when I said that, like this guy steps out from behind Roger, a security guy. He's like, well, come with me, sir. And I was like, crap, I couldn't get away from him. I was like, it was the dumbest thing for me to do. I don't know why I was even talking about it. I should have just like taken off. And like normally I'm smarter than that, and I'm pretty good at escaping situations, but I screwed up. So then they like pulled me in the back and they sat me down, and They're like restraining me. I had to like sit in my hands, and there was these two security guys like sitting on each side of me, and they went through my bag and they found the lighter fluid, they found the matches, they found the rope.
Oh,
It was super
no.
sketchy. It was like a big can of lighter fluid too. It looked really sketchy, and I was like, okay, I can explain that. And I was in character for a long time too. I didn't like break character. Even though I changed my clothes, I still did the voice so that it's kind of, people kind of are like, okay, this guy's just like a crazy nerd and like, oh, he just doesn't know what he's talking about and he's nuts, so we'll leave him alone. That's always what gets me out of like the situations. Oh, and a funny thing is, I got kicked out of E3 2 weeks before Comic Con or whatever, however much earlier Comic Con. E3 wasn't Comic Con. A few weeks earlier, I got kicked out of E3 by this certain security guy who was like escorting me out. He was the one that was like, he was in the video in the beginning. You can see him like reprimanding me. It was the same security guy at Comic Con. I think they hired like the same company of security people, and it was the same exact guy who was like, oh, restraining me. And he had no idea. He didn't even mention it. He didn't say anything. I was like, this guy doesn't even know, because he probably sees so many nerds, he doesn't realize who's who, and they're just like a big blur to him. So they're like restraining me, and they're going through my bag, and like I'm slowly coming out of character. I'm like losing the lisp a little bit, so it doesn't seem like such a hard drop out of character. Because I usually, when people find out I'm doing a character, they get more mad that I'm like messing around with them and giving them a hard time and like taking advantage of them, you know. So I tried to kind of like come out of character and talk more more normally, and I would still like, you know, spit a little bit and stuff, so that I could like talk to them like a normal person, so they would think I'm not just nuts. I was like, okay, so that lighter fluid is it was part of a joke, and I was filming this thing for Comedy Central, and which wasn't a lie, but this bit wasn't a lie. I was making all these other bits up. I was like, that was for a bit where I was in the parking lot last night, and I was pretending I was Indiana Jones with that rope, and I had the lighter fluid because I was building a campfire in the parking lot because I was waiting for Comic-Con to open up in the morning, and they believed. He's like, okay, whatever. And I was like, there's no, even if that was true, I shouldn't have that stuff in the building. I could like blow something up or burn something down with the stuff I had in my bag. And they just like, they didn't even care about it. So I got kind of freaked out about that. But it didn't, and ultimately didn't like really even matter. And then eventually they just let me go, and they said I can never come back again, which they always say. And then I always come back, and then they don't remember. So it doesn't make a difference. So that's a short story long for you.
Well, just for me, when you fill out paperwork to go to these cons, do you sign up as Nathan or do you go as Keith?
I don't ever sign up. People usually get me passes. So yeah, I just like, people are like, hey, you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And they'll get me however many passes I want. So it's usually like Game Trailers or Screw Attack. Screw Attack actually got limited this year of how many passes they could get to E3 because of me, because I got kicked out under the Screw Attack name like last time. So they couldn't get me in, and I was like, all right, I'm not even gonna go. I'm not gonna worry about it. Then I asked Game Trailers if I could get a pass to go as me, but I asked them like a couple of days before, and they're like, oh, our passes are being used. And I told them I wasn't going to be doing a video, so they didn't like save one for me. So then I was kind of like, whatever, I'm not going to go. So then my friend Joe Lewis from Comedy Central was like, hey, you want to go? And I was like, oh, all right, I'll go. So we went in together, and I just went like as myself just to look at stuff, but I brought the glasses because people always want to take pictures and stuff as with Keith. So I was like, all right, I'll put the glasses on for people. And then being there at E3, I was like, oh, this is kind of funny. I could do this little bit. And I was like, I'll do a 10-second little video where Keith's like, I'm going to take down G4. I'm going to go on their stage. And then like have a security guard kick me out right away and have the video be like a 10-second video total. And every people will be like, what the heck? That was the stupidest waste of my time ever. That was going to be the whole video. But then Sega, this is E3 for this year. Then Sega saw me and they're like, oh my gosh, we really want to do a video with you. I was like, okay, all right. So I'll do a video with Sega. And then I ended up like getting like some more little bits, and I was like, I guess I'll put all this stuff together and I'll have some episode for this year. And it ended up being like I didn't think it was a very good video. Well, yeah, so I ended up doing a couple little bits at E3, and I put it together for a video, and I wasn't really happy with it because I like really like going crazy, like really outdoing myself and doing some stunts and like crashing the live broadcasts and funny little interviews and stuff, and kind of like doing new things. But after so long, that's like the reason I didn't do part of the reason I didn't do Comic-Con this year, and why I wasn't going to do E3 was because it's just so hard to like, what the heck am I going to climb? I've climbed everything. I've fallen down every flight of stairs. And, like, there's nothing. I mean, there's always something else I could do, but it's like I got to really sit down and think about it for a while. But I've done so. I drove a car into like the food court last year at E3. Like, what the heck am I going to do now? Like, land a jet inside of the middle of a convention. So I feel like I gotta take a couple years off, then like come back and do something good, and maybe like just revamp some similar bits, from the past. Because like every year, it's just so hard to like be funny every year when I'm like going so far from the beginning. The first video I like went crazy, and I did 3 episodes where I was just like crashing everything and falling face first downstairs. So, I mean, I guess I could do a conventional little recap or like a review of E3, but that's boring what everyone else does. So I want to like do something nuts. Oh yeah, Sega they saw me and they wanted to they're huge fans of Keith's apparently, which was awesome to find out, and they wanted to do some type of video, and I was like, okay, well, we'll do something, and I've done that Dreamcast 2 bit like to death, but it was kind of appropriate to do. Like I was like the only really good thing I could think of. I was like, okay, well he since Sega's like a fan of his, like I'll ask them where the Dreamcast 2 is and stuff, and that was like the whole little running gag, and now I set a thing up with Sega where I'm going to be going to the Sega headquarters to do an episode, and I wrote some like a whole little episode for the whole like his visit to the Sega, and like he'll be looking for like the Dreamcast 2, but that's not like the main joke. I don't want to like do that to death because I feel like it's just not very funny anymore, and I'm getting kind of like bored of that joke. But yeah, so he's gonna go to Sega in one of the upcoming episodes, and he is also doing a commercial. There's gonna be a Keith commercial. The Kevin Butler commercials for his PlayStation.
Yeah.
This is going to be like that times like 30, where it's just crazy. It's like Keith is like now the new CEO and like all the things he wants to do and what to do with the company. So we're going to be filming that soon down here in LA. And then that's part of the video that I'm bringing up to San Francisco where Keith pitches them this commercial, and he's like, check it out, this is what, now that I'm the new self-proclaimed CEO of Sega, this is what one of the commercials will look like. And he does this in like a boardroom, and everyone's just like staring at it with their jaws dropped open. So look forward to that. So
everything that you've done with Trell and Keith, is there enough room for a third character, for any more characters?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if I'd assume you haven't seen everything because there's a lot of dumb junk out there that I do. But like Simmons DuPont is another guy I do, and he's like my personal favorite. Then Ray Ansley, the Peg Leg self-defense instructor, and I used to do this character Merle. He was like this homeless guy who's kind of like just silent, like Buster Keaton routines and stuff. But I have this new guy I want to do. I'm kind of messing around with him. I did him in a video that I don't think anyone's really seen. His name's Newland Mantros. There's another guy, Lyle. I want to do this guy who's this DJ. So he's like this, like, he promotes his DJing and stuff. I thought that'd be kind of funny to do a DJ character. I don't know why. Someone that drives like one of those like was Toyota cars with like, neon lights on the bottom and stuff.
Well, you mentioned earlier about your tour.
Yes.
Would you like to talk about it? Like where you stop in at?
Yeah, totally. It's Keith's going on tour. The tour starts September 2nd, and first show's in LA at Meltdown Comics. And Charlene Yee is going to be opening or playing with me so far, as long as she's shooting a movie right now with Judd Apatow. And if she doesn't have to shoot that day, she's in and she's going to do it. So that'll be cool. And then San Francisco, we're not doing a San Francisco show. There's, the whole tour is like in arcades and video game stores. It's not just like, Meltdown Comics, the one in LA, is the only place that's like different. It's a comic book store, but it's close enough. But all the rest of the stops are in like arcades, and then Keith's gonna be playing in the middle of like the arcade games, like right there on the floor, and everyone's gonna like be standing in these arcade games. I thought that'd be like a really cool like image of like Keith playing his songs right in between these video games and people like singing along or whatever. And it's like a whole hour-long show of Keith doing his 6 songs and jokes in between. So it's like an hour-long show. And he's using his Sega C DJ. It's a Sega Model 1 that is going to be playing the Phantom Inc. songs without the vocals, and then Keith will be singing the vocals on top of it. So that's like his little DJ that's going to be like on a table with like a old TV. So that's what he's bringing to play these songs. So he's going to be LA at Meltdown Comics, then Portland, Oregon, and Keith's doing 2 shows because the arcade ground control where he's playing is turns into a barcade at night, so it's 21 plus after like 5 or something. So Keith's doing an all ages show at 4 p.m. and then a 21 plus show at 8 p.m. and then he's in Tacoma, Washington, where he's playing at Dorky's arcade, and then Denver, Colorado. He's playing at this cool store called Level 7 Games. Albuquerque, New Mexico is Gamers Anonymous, and then Austin is UFO Arcade, and Ames, Iowa is Pixels store. I have a couple more I can go through. Chicago, he's playing at Galloping Ghosts. Detroit, he's playing at Marvin's Marvelous. Is it Machine Museum? I can't remember. I just have Marvin's written down. But it's like this. I went to that place. I shot a commercial in Detroit, and I went to this place with my friend Robert Hamburger. Quick fact: he wrote the book Real Ultimate Power and Ghost/Aliens. He's a really cool dude. You should read his books. They're funny. But I went to this arcade with him, and the place was awesome. And it was the first place I ever played an F-Zero arcade cabinet, like the sit-down driving ones with the full motion seat. So that's the first place I played one of those. I ended up buying one after I played that thing because the thing was so ridiculous. So I have one in my house. I'm just getting sidetracked, but I just want you to know that I have a F-Zero arcade cabinet in my house, and there's only 19 in the continental U.S. Anyways, now I'm going to New Jersey where I'm playing or Keith is going to New Jersey. He's playing at Richie Knuckles Arcade, and then Framingham he's playing at Game Underground. And the final stop on the whole entire Keith Apicarnage tour in September is American Classic Arcade Museum, ACAM, at Fun Spot, where the King of Kong documentary was filmed. So, and that's where Keith donated his Neo Geo 4 slot, so he's going to be playing right next to his Neo Geo in New Hampshire.
I was going to ask you about it because at Fun Spot, in your videos, Keith Apicary has the world record for the lowest Donkey Kong Jr. score.
Yeah. He wanted to be like Steve Wiebe, and he wanted to get a high score, but he really stinks at Donkey Kong Jr. So as he was playing, he realized, I know what world record I could get. So he just uses his abilities to die, and he did it so well that the game gave him a score of -400 because he died so fast.
Now, is that a legit score, or is it something specifically for the video?
You'd have to ask Keith about that. I don't know. I wasn't there. So, it's there. Twin Galaxies has it registered, and American Classic Arcade Museum recognized it and took the picture. There's a picture on the wall, and there's a whole plaque now, and it's there. It's there legitimately. So you can try to beat Keith's score, but I'm sure you'll at least get 100 points. Or 0. If you get 0 points, you're better than Keith. You got to get negative.
Here's the thing. I've been trying Tetris. I've been trying Mario, which just set the record for the lowest score in for like 600 points and completing the game, which I'm pissed off about. I've tried 90,000 things to set world records, and Keith comes in and sets the easiest one ever.
Well, it's not so easy. I'd like to see you get -400 points. It's hard to get a computer to put a negative symbol before its score.
Yeah, I give it that much.
So he's really good at being bad. But I see what you mean. That's really annoying. He's this idiot who comes out of nowhere and he gets to be in the record books. It's pretty cool that he's up there with like Steve Wiebe and people, and he's not good at all. He didn't have to do anything. Basically, Keith's in now like known in the record books as, a joke. So whatever, as long as he's in there.
Well, hopefully I'll be able to talk to Keith sometime and actually get his take on it.
Yeah, good luck. That guy's a nut.
Case in point, I direct everyone to the interview I did with Gamers Garage a couple of years ago. Guy is absolutely insane.
Yeah, he gets a little excited.
Well, is there anything else you want to plug that we didn't cover so far?
The tour pretty much is like the big thing coming up. And this weekend, I don't know when you'll have this interview up, but
I'll post it by the end of the day.
Okay, cool. Well, this coming weekend in just outside Toronto, Keith's going to be at Con Bravo, video game convention. So that'll be cool. He's going to have a panel, and he's actually going to be doing this. Up there will be the first place Keith will do his like set for his tour, where he's going to do his songs and his jokes and stuff. So it's kind of like a test one, I guess, because it's the first time he'll be performing all these songs. Well, he performed them at SGC before, but not all the songs. He only did 2. So yeah, that'd be kind of like, it's technically, I guess, the first stop of the tour, really. And then a month later, he goes on a legitimate tour. Oh, and the tour is sponsored by Macbeth Shoes, I should mention. I'm not just mentioning them because they're sponsoring us, but I actually like their shoes. They're really cool. I've been wearing them for years, and now I get free shoes because I I put them in videos and stuff, so it's cool. But yeah, you should check out Macbeth Shoes. They're awesome. They're vegan, and they're really, really cool shoes. I want them to become the shoes of the nerds, the nerd shoe.
Vegan shoes?
Yeah, the guy from Blink-182, Tom DeLonge, made the company, and it's like his shoe brand. So they're really cool. Yeah, there's like no leather or anything in them. It's just like rubber and like canvas and stuff.
I got you.
Yeah, like Converse are technically vegan because there's no leather in there. There's no ham sandwiches in these shoes.
That'd be a tight fit at that point.
Yeah.
Quite disgusting when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, most people are walking around with hamburgers on their feet and they don't even know it. So get some Macbeths.
I have never had a mental image of hamburgers on someone's feet.
Well, now you
You
now,
happen to
now
put
you
it
have.
there.
Sorry, man.
I think I'm gonna go vegetarian.
Nice. See, it's working. Eat some tofu. Eat some tofu.
Well, I'm gonna get off of here with you and
Okay.
eat a salad.
All
I'd
right,
like to
cool.
thank you for allowing me to interview you today on basically less than 24 hours notice.
No problem. Thanks for asking me and me having me do it.
No problem. For those wondering, get-equip.com. There should be a video with some highlights / lowlights or whatever it is for the interview up there on the YouTube channel, and you can download it. The download link will be in the description. All right, guys. Thanks for Nathan Barrett again, and I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
And we out.
Cool. So you think that's good?
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Okay, cool.
28, 30 minutes, something like that.
All right, sounds good.
Like I said, I should have the MP3 posted by the end. Definitely by the end of the day, and I should have it the video, the highlight video, posted up by this time. No, this time tomorrow.
Awesome.
I'll send you the tweet.
Nice. Thanks, man. I'll post it all around.
All right, thanks, man.
Cool. I'll talk to you later.
All right, later.
Bye.